What is going on, everybody? Welcome into the Tim Warren Show. And we're going to talk about in this episode why December could be a very interesting month, not only for crypto as a whole, but specifically there are 4 altcoins that I think could be really, really special in the month of December. But we are going to talk about the market as a whole. This is going to be one of the 20-minute episodes. We are doing this live. So even right now, smash like, hit subscribe. Let me know where you guys are listening from. I always love to see where our listeners are, but stick around for the entire thing. It's only going to be roughly 20 minutes, but we're going to be jam-packed with information. Make sure you smash that like and hit subscribe. Let's go take a look at the charts here really quickly, diving on in. Bitcoin, a little bit of a bearish day here today, but that is okay. We still look like the other day we had a very good bottom on the macro scale. The daily buy signal that we talked about not only a couple of days ago, but also kind of specified yesterday, this needed to confirm. It has confirmed. We have the green reversal. We have the bullish momentum. We have the positive money flow. Things are starting to come together along with a lot of other technicals we've been covering for the last couple of weeks that a buy signal is in order. But that doesn't mean you just go straight up. There is volatility that's in play. So if you're worried today, don't be. We actually discussed this yesterday. We talked about the resistance right at or above $89,000 because of an order block in play. If you've been watching the show yesterday, you would have been prepared for this reversal because the 4-hour did give us a red level of resistance with the smart trail. The 1-hour did give us a good order block here once it pops up on the screen for me. All this due to flow signals. I'll tell you about this indicator a little bit later in the show. There you go. Perfect order block saying, hey, some people are going to take some resistance right here, but until we start putting in lower lows, until we drop below this 80,500, you got to feel pretty good about this daily buy signal that has confirmed. It's just going to take a little bit of time. This could take a couple of weeks, but I got targets all the way up back at least to 96,000. Then the question becomes, do we take a move historically to get back and hit our heads on the 200-day moving average above 100,000. You can see some big order blocks up here around 102, 103,000 for Bitcoin. I think it's going to be very interesting to see what does Bitcoin do during that price action. But more than likely, a lot of that big momentum is going to happen in the month of December. And now I want to go ahead and jump over it. We're going to come back to the charts to look at a couple of altcoins. Again, 4 altcoins I think could stand out from the pack in December. But why is December possibly going to be a big month? Well, you guys know we've been tracking. We will have the next Fed decision in December on the 10th. And the percentage or the probability of a rate cut coming continues to shoot to the upside. Today, hitting 84% likelihood we're going to see a rate cut. We know that quantitative tightening is ending on December 1st. That's going to be awesome. But more rate cuts equals injected liquidity. Is it a whole lot of liquidity? We'll have to wait and see what the details look like. But for now, we are seeing the extreme signs of positivity. Some of the reason why that's happening here is because this morning PPI numbers came out. And even though PPI numbers don't tell the full story of inflation, they do a little bit, right? They talk a little bit about what is happening there. And ultimately, they ended up matching expectation. We were expecting PPI to come in at 0.3% month over month. It actually did. Forecast actually said 0.5%. So coming in at 0.3, beat the forecast, matched the consensus expectation. Inflation, not really a problem. We will go live tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will be the last show of this week. We will get to see what initial jobless claims look like for November. So stick around for that. That's going to be very important to see tomorrow morning. It'll come out at 9:30 a.m. Actually, does it come out at 8:30? I don't know. I don't know if this is still set to Eastern Standard Time or not. Either way, we're going to have these numbers when we go live tomorrow morning. So these things are contributing. Another thing contributing here later on to this thing as well, to this rate cut coming, is the Fed Governor Stephen Moran. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that name correctly, so correct me in the chat if there's a different pronunciation there. But he said that the U.S. economy calls for large interest rate cuts, continuing to say, listen, inflation's not out of control. The main concern, the main fear is unemployment ticking to the upside. We saw it get to 4.4% last week. All signs right now are pointing towards the Fed saying, you know what? It's probably time to continue cutting rates in December, even though there's a glimpse there we thought it wouldn't happen. By the way, speaking of the Fed, some good news coming out for the future. Does this take effect until May of 2025? Yeah, probably. We probably still have Jerome Powell, the guy on the right there, until May of 2025. But Kevin Hassett has emerged as the front runner to replace Jerome Powell as the Fed chairman. Just, he's a former Coinbase advisor and very, very bullish on crypto markets, very dovish, meaning he believes it's time to enter into quantitative easing. It's time to slash rates. So when you look at the decision like this, and you're seeing 25 basis points being predicted, there's good reasons why. It's because the cuts will be coming, and they're not going to stop in 2025. They will continue in 2026. Some other good news you want to be aware of is that Polymarket has secured the CFTC approval to operate fully as an exchange for U.S. retail users and brokerages. So pretty soon, goodness gracious, this voice is still going. Pretty soon, you're not just going to be able to predict and bet on future events. You also will be able to probably be scooping up some of your favorite cryptocurrencies on Polymarket. Other big news, Texas has become the first state to buy Bitcoin, investing $10 million into its strategic reserve. This is the first of many deposits into Bitcoin, for the state of Texas, but also the first of many states that will follow Texas in buying Bitcoin to add to their strategic reserve. How are you bearish right now, long term, when you're seeing things like this happen? I don't know. I understand myself. I'm in that same boat. I don't know 100% if the bottom is in just yet, but this is extremely, extremely bullish news. If you hadn't heard about it, there you go. Very good stuff happening. Now let's get into the details that a lot of you came in for, right? You guys know I love to talk about Bitcoin on every single show, but some of you guys really, really like when I discuss altcoins. And I'm not going to give any long-term price predictions in this video, but I do want to cover this article right here that came out a couple of days ago from Eric Balkanis. Probably butchering the pronunciation on that one as well. Now, he says there's 5 spot crypto ETFs. There's 4 to me that really stick out. But he's talking about there's over the next 6 days, we're going to have a couple more crypto ETFs launching. Beyond that, we don't know the exact number, but we expect a steady supply of them, likely over 100 in the next 6 months. But these 4 coins are going to stand out, in my opinion. Number one, it actually is not having a new release in the next 5 days. It's had a bunch of them. Take a look at Solana here. Solana's had a Bitwise, a Grayscale, a Van Eck, a Fidelity, and a Canary ETF all launched in the months of October and November. Guess what ends up joining them here? I know XRP is on this list as well. Some people want me to talk about XRP. We talked about XRP a little bit yesterday. Solana is one of my 4 coins to watch in the month of December. It is setting records for inflows into its ETF that it launched in October and November. Guess who's going to be joining it? Dogecoin just got a Grayscale ETF. XRP, of course, on the list. And then we also have Chainlink is going to be joining this list as well. On December 2nd, Chainlink will get a Grayscale ETF. So our 4 coins here, Solana, XRP, Dogecoin, and Chainlink are ones to watch. Before we get into the details of those charts, though, I want to make sure, even right here, to make sure you guys not only prepare yourself to buy these coins, because I think the month of December is going to look very, very good for them. I also want to prepare you to save some money because Black Friday is coming up this week. And if you want to take advantage of some really cool sales, make sure right now, first of all, NordVPN. If you are trading cryptocurrency and you do not have a VPN to secure your information, your data, your privacy, what are you doing? Right now, get up to 78% off for a cup of coffee, 1 cup of coffee a month. You can be covered with a VPN. Go check out the link down below right now and get your VPN set up with NordVPN. They are the ones that we use. They're the ones we recommend. Please protect yourself in the world of cryptocurrency. Protect your privacy, protect your security. Also, if you've been watching our content for a while and saying, you know what, I really want to get in this VIP trading group, make sure to act right now. Because when you get this sale, this is the biggest sale we'll have all year. When you go act right now and use the code either BF33 or BF50 to sign up for our VIP trading group, this is the biggest one you're going to get. If you want month to month, you'll get 3 months of 33% off when you sign up. Any of our membership options, Essentials, the Academy with all the education content, or Gem Hunters. Or if you want to sign up for the full year, 50% off. Just use the code BF50. If you want to use this indicator over here that we are using to scalp and to swing and to day trade the assets and knowing when to buy and when to sell with this fantastic oscillator and these resistance and support levels that we're using to pinpoint these markets. You get all of this for free when you sign up. Just go to the description down below right here. You're looking at the video, go into the description and click right below Tim Warren Trading, the VIP trading group, the WAP, and that's going to take you right to this page. Choose your level, Essentials, Academy, or Gem Hunters, and start trading with the Tim Warren Trading Group today. All right. You guys ready to talk about some cryptocurrencies and what they're going to look like? Let's go over here. Let's turn this off for a second. Let's start off with Solana. Now, Solana, like I said, even though it's been going to the downside, we're actually already seeing more than 20 days of net inflows into these ETFs. And as things are just now getting bullish during that time period, I am expecting a big swing to the upside here for Solana. Just like Bitcoin, we do have that daily buy signal coming in. The MACD has crossed bullish. Everything is looking nice and clean to the upside. Levels I'd watch for in Solana during the month of December. We could really get on a tear. I could see a world where we rip back up above 200 and go higher, but let's keep our eyes kind of focused on some shorter term targets just for right now. Big order block coming in here at 160. I do think that's going to be very big. I think the next one up there, 180. These two order blocks, if Bitcoin can make its way back up towards 100K before the end of the year, I would say Solana, when you're looking at purchasing right now, you're looking up here at 160 and 183 as good looking levels of resistance. If we can secure a weekly buy signal though, if we can make that happen during the month of December, I'm not going to just put us right here at 235. The next spot to watch would be going up closer towards all-time highs, or I believe this actually would be all-time high. Keep an eye on $300 once again. That's where the red cloud of the weekly chart is sitting. If the weekly buy signal launches, it hasn't launched yet. You can see on this indicator, it is telling us lower time frames are actually calling bullish buy signals right now. The oscillator is rounding over. We have the green reversals. We just don't have the positive money flow yet. But in the next couple of weeks, if that does turn bullish, all of a sudden, I go from saying 160, 180 to saying, forget just 200. We could make our way to 300 in the next couple of weeks on Solana. How about my favorite cryptocurrency? I'm not bearish about it all. I don't hide this information. Chainlink to me is the big winner in all of this. Chainlink, one of the few altcoins actually that has had 4 positive days in a row, even right now. The daily buy signal, just like the others, has come in. We had the green reversal. We got the bullish momentum. The positive money flows coming in. Short-term targets that I'm looking at here, those 2 order blocks that could be very interesting. Number 1 here at $15. That is where the daily smart trail is coming in. However, again, $15 is just what happens at that order block. If Bitcoin goes to 100K, look at this next one up here, close to 1740. And just like I said with Solana, if that weekly chart gets a buy signal, all of a sudden we're talking about going between $23 to $30 by the end of the year or early into 2026. It's always hard to pinpoint what exactly happens before the end of the year, but whether or not we get there on December 31st or not, if that weekly buy signal triggers, we will be on our way up back towards $30 and possibly even higher. But right now, I'm kind of talking about some trade setups for you guys. I'd be looking at $15 to $17 realistically, and then get that weekly buy signal. All of a sudden, we're talking 23 to 30 for Chainlink. Let's keep going on and let's take a look at the next one, XRP. If I can find it here, XRP, of course, has been on a tear the last couple of days. It is going to be another one that people are talking about. Good resistance right here. We are hitting an order block. That's why we're rejecting right now. I actually think we talked about XRP yesterday and said keep an eye on this level because of that order block, but it could still go a little higher. Again, we have that daily buy signal just like the others. I actually would say for this one, forget just this order block. Once we get a good move to the upside, this is one I'm looking at 244 as my lower level for a good move to the upside. That's where the smart trail is coming in. But I have a good feeling we're going to start stretching these smart trails. Look for XRP to get above 264. Getting above 264, getting above former resistance would be massive. This order block and resistance zone right in here on 275, very interesting to me. I think realistically, we're looking at least back up to 240, could be as high as 275. And then if that weekly buy signal does come in, all of a sudden we're talking $3 or more, $3.30 to potentially $4 on the table for XRP in the next couple of weeks to months. Again, am I promising you by December 31st? No. I'm saying if that weekly buy signal flashes to match this daily buy signal, we could go even higher. Before I get to the next thing here, I want to make sure I'm even clarifying for everyone listening, because you guys are saying, Tim, that would be awesome. I'm also saying the weekly buy signals coming in here would probably coincide with the bottom of Bitcoin being in. Before I move into the last coin, what I'm saying this is, let's pretend that Bitcoin, the bottom is in, and Bitcoin starts to head back up towards new all-time highs. It breaks through 111. It's up here towards 115, 120. That's what I'm talking about, these other coins hitting these newer highs. However, if Bitcoin does reject here around the 103 zone, around the 200-day moving average, and make its way back down, I don't think the weekly buy signal is going to flash. I think a coin like XRP, I show you the other ones, but I think XRP probably ends up rejecting somewhere between 268 and 280, give or take, where I was just showing you a second ago. So that weekly buy signal, only looking at that kind of tells us, the weekly buy signal tells us bottom more than likely is in at that point. Let's get to the last coin, a coin that we have not covered a whole heck of a lot on this channel, but I want to cover it here for you guys. Its name is Dogecoin. Now, Dogecoin, of course, was one of the 4 coins I just mentioned that is getting an ETF in the next couple of days. Just like the rest of its fellow crypto compadres, it has had a very bad last couple of weeks. Price action is to the downside, but we're getting a nice surge right here. Buy signal coming in on the daily chart right now. Targets I'd be looking for. This order box seems a little low to me. I'm going to say, I think realistically with the daily buy signal, I think at least 17 cents. I think it wouldn't be crazy to see 18.6 cents for Dogecoin based on this daily buy signal. That would be my zone again for if Bitcoin makes it up towards 103 and gets rejected. More than likely, we're seeing Dogecoin rejected in the 18.6 cent region. If we can break through that, I don't think Dogecoin is heading to any new all-time highs like some of these other coins, or at least getting not all-time highs, but recent cycle highs. Weekly buy signal comes in, though. Let's say the bottom is in. All of a sudden, I'm looking here between 27 to 35 cents. Not a cycle high, right? We were much, much higher than this back in December of 2024, but it's a very good start for Dogecoin holders. Watch these coins. I'm not saying the other coins won't rally as well, but with these coins getting ETFs, I think a little extra juice could be injected into Solana, Chainlink, XRP, and into Dogecoin here because of that inflow from outside crypto resources, right? This was going to allow retail who are more traditional finance investors to get in. It'll also intrigue some institutions who dabble in the ETF space. You can go off my screen right there. It's going to be an interesting next couple of weeks. We will keep you up to date on what's happening with all of these charts. Again, if you want to know more and spend time talking about it with our Discord group, go check out that VIP trading group. Black Friday sale lasting just this week and next week. You got some time, but act fast because this is the biggest sale we will run. You'll never find these resources cheaper than you will during this sale. Act now while you can. Now, it's 3:18, about 18 minutes into the show. We're going to wrap it up here. I want to change for a second. I know chat has questions. I'll be back tomorrow morning. I'll answer some questions tomorrow morning. So come back in 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will have a live show. We'll do the charts. I'll answer some questions. But I've been doing a lot of thinking here. And you know, a lot of us have been so focused heavily on the charts right now. We're anxious. We're worried. We're excited. But there are people right now going through a lot of extreme things, even people listening to this content right now, whether you're live with me or whether you're listening back. I have a word I feel like I'm supposed to share with you because it's something that even I have to remind myself from time to time. You are more important than your portfolio. The crashes, the rallies, all of it, you are more important than your portfolio. You know, I'm going to be live tomorrow morning, but the rest of this week I'm going to be off because I'm going to be spending time with my family celebrating Thanksgiving, a holiday here in the United States that we use to remember the things that we have in our life that are good. You know, we like to focus on what we don't have. We like to focus on negatives throughout the rest of the year. Sometimes it's good to stop and reflect and think about what we're grateful for. What do we have that maybe we actually don't even deserve in the first place? But you know, one of the biggest things that we need to remind ourselves in the world of investing, you're worth a whole lot more than your portfolio. I don't care if your portfolio is worth $2 or $1 billion. You're still worth more than it. And what I'm going to do this weekend is I'm going to spend some time. I'll still look at charts from time to time, but I'm going to spend time with the loved ones. I'm going to spend time with people that got me into investing in the first place. I'm not here just to make a bunch of money. I'm here to better the lives of my family, to invest for a future that I never had before. And a lot of you guys are in that same boat, but don't lose the end goal because you're chasing the bag. And for those out there who maybe don't have a loved one or a family to spend time with, reach out to me. Reach out to me on Discord. Don't even pay for it. Go in the free Discord. tag me, message me. I would talk with you because I want you to know you're valuable and you're loved and you're worth more than your portfolio. And even if you don't have someone in your life to say it, I want to tell you, you are loved. We care about you. And don't let this weekend go by and just stay in the grind of anxiety in the markets and miss out on an opportunity to be grateful for something in your life right now. Love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.